Hello everyone, today's yoga practice is going to be for our overthinkers. So if you have a place you can go that is in nature or a balcony or a enclosed multiple seasons room, or just get outside, I encourage you to do so sometime today if you can't do it during this practice. But we're going to be focusing on being present for those that are overthinkers and have a hard time with this themselves. So let's go ahead, jump into something comfortable, and let's get started. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Curl your toes underneath your feet, and then just go ahead and rest back in a seat here. We're just going to stretch out, and we're starting from the ground up today. And starting from the ground up, being outside, this whole idea of finding what it feels like to be present in the moment. And so to actually check out from what you have to do, check out from anybody's expectations for you, and just be present now. And if you're an overthinker like me, you're like, Carly, this isn't going to work out. This is very difficult for me. Don't worry, just give me a chance. You're going to feel so much more grounded, more calm, and you're going to feel really good after this practice today. So right now I just encourage you to find your breath, drop your shoulders away from your ears, bring your collarbones up, raise it up and forward. Doing so will drop your shoulders down and away from your ears. It'll prevent rounding that occurs if you have that problem with your posture. And just find your breath. Box breathing is a really good option here. And with each breath, I want you to think of expanding your belly. So you're a to-do list person. Go ahead and put your hand on your belly. Let's see if you're doing it right. Let's test yourself. And if you feel your belly rise and fall with each breath, then you pass the test. And if you feel just your chest rise, then bring more awareness to your belly. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And 1 more. All right, let's go ahead and bring yourself forward in all fours. Go ahead and flip the toes, this time facing down, and then have a seat back. Let's just go ahead and rock forward and back. You're kind of going in and out of child's pose here, but doing so is just kind of going to release any stress or tension that you hold in your hips without putting too much of a stress right at the very beginning of this workout. So do it feels good here, if that's circles for you, or if that's diagonals, or maybe that's just going forward and back. It's like we're priming up our joints. And then just go ahead and come forward, this time raise up onto your toes and slowly peel your hips up towards the sky. Here you can pedal out your feet. It's our first downward dog today. Go ahead and come up onto your fingertips and onto your toes. And then with your exhale, I want you to think about coming down. Each pad of your finger, every point of your hand, makes contact with the floor as your hand expands and firmly presses into the ground. And then do the same thing with your toes. Slowly lower down each section of your foot, all the way down until you are in a comfortable, cozy, downward-facing dog. Go ahead and inhale, look between your hands, bend the knees, and then step or hop to the top of your mat. Give me a nice big old bend, resting your belly right on the tops of your thighs. Release your head and neck, tuck your chin right into your chest. Straighten out the legs this time. Inhale halfway up, look, find, lengthen your spine. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, fold. Tuck the knees again, drop the hips, and then roll up 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhale, reaching your arms up towards the sky, lifting your chest straight forward. Exhale, hands come to mountain pose. Now let's go ahead and think of that same thing from the ground up. Come up onto your tippy toes and then roll down the pads of your feet. Think of opening up through your toes, so kind of make your feet nice and wide, I guess, on the mat. Pressing through all 4 corners of the feet. Now from the ground up, think about the energy coming up from the ground underneath you And then firm through your body. So firm through the front of your legs, firm through your glutes. Act as if there's a weight pulling down on your tailbone. Take your belly button, tuck it in so you feel this length. Lift your chest points up straight ahead. Bring your chin in. Hands are at heart center. And return to your box breathing. On your next inhale, raise your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway up and look, find your length. Exhale, forward fold, step or hop into plank position. Shift your weight forward, lower into chaturanga. Press up to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet if you need to, it's your choice. Inhale, look between the hands, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up and look, find length. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive, reaching up towards the sky. Exhale, hands come to the heart center, finding your groundedness here in this pose and mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold down. Step or hop into plank position. Shift your weight forward, chaturanga, meet me in downward facing dog. Remember your breath through this practice. Inhale, look between the hands, step or hop to the front of your mat. Halfway up and look, finding length. Exhale, fold. Reverse your swan dive, reaching, thinking about what your body is doing as you move through each of these movements. Maintaining to find your breath and yet finding calm, finding stillness in this practice. Inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway up and look. Exhale, fold, step or hop into plank. Shift forward, move through your chaturanga, meet in downward facing dog. Bend your knees, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway up and look, find your length. Exhale, forward fold. Reverse swan dive. Meet in mountain. Now, for people who are task oriented, moving quickly, high intensity and quick movements, projects and lists, they motivate us, they excite us. And what sometimes is really scary and treacherous and boring and painful is just being still. And healing that, overcoming that feeling, just takes practice. It's like overcoming fears. The more you practice it, the more you're exposed to your fear, the less fearful you are. The more busy-minded you are, and you continue to practice busy-mindedness and activities and tasks, your state will only continue to get worse from there. So this is a moment to actually practice the peace, the slowing down. And yeah, standing in this mountain pose right now may just be giving you itches like you're ready to move on to the next thing. But I promise this. Finding the breath, finding the stillness, finding the peace, finding the joy in this moment is very powerful. So remember that as you go through each one of these moves next. Inhale, lift your right leg, bring it up for our tree pose. So start to bring the weight into your left leg, shift your weight in there. Now make sure your hips not drop in here. So I want you to still engage. And then as long as you bring the foot up above the knee or below the knee, that is just fine. Now, my type A busybodies, focus your eyes on a single point to maintain balance. And if you think about anything through this practice, I want you to think about your breath. Think of the patterns, hear the noises that you make as you breathe, and then really feel what your body is doing as you take each breath. Is it just your chest that rises and falls? Do you feel stress through your head and neck when you breathe? And if this is you, then I want you to bring your awareness back to your belly breathing. Now with your breath and maintaining your focus, I want you to go ahead and take your right arm and reach for your toe. And then just go ahead and working at extending the leg forward. And as you do this, maybe you need to back off and just move up the leg if you can't reach for the toe. This is something that with continued practice, you will come to find that you can actually progress through this pose. This workout is for you and not for anybody else to judge you or grade you, so just take it as that. And then as you exhale, bring your knee up and I want you to sweep it back for Warrior 3. What you choose to do with your hands is up to you, whatever feels good. Back behind your body or sweeping your arms overhead. Do me a favor though, square up your hips, make sure you're not rocking forward. Excellent job. Sweep that leg back through, and if you can, bring it right up back to mountain pose. Finding your balance back to this place where we first started. And bringing your awareness back to your breath. Excellent job. Go ahead and release the leg, the foot to the floor, and shake it out. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. This time, grounding down through the right leg. Use the muscles in that leg, engage through the hip, and then just go ahead. And when you're ready, when you feel comfortable, bring your foot above the knee. Now, yoga is not a place for competition. It's not a place for comparison. And it's not a place to get things done. And so this practice is really testing your limits, and it's expanding this part of you that maybe you're not that familiar with. And when we do that, we grow, we change, we become a better version of ourselves. All right, and when you're ready, go ahead and extend that leg out. Now you decide to reach for the toe or to bring that leg, your hand, up on your leg. I tend to have a little bit more tightness in one side than the other. And of course, if you happen to come out of your pose, it's okay, just come back into it. Lifting your chest up. Try not to just fold forward in this pose. And then go ahead and bring your knee into your center, and then exhale, kick it back for Warrior 3. And your next breath in, go ahead and switch, bringing yourself back up to tree pose. If you want to look for a different challenge, you can always change your gaze. Look up towards the sky, and then exhale, bring your hands back to your heart center and release. Let's go ahead and take your feet in a nice wide stance on the side of your mat. Take your arms back behind your body, spread through the chest. Think about lifting your collarbone up straight in front of you, tuck the chin, draw the tailbone down. You're taking up space here. And I just want you to think about sweeping forward, chest stays proud, and you're bringing your hip points up towards the sky. You feel a really good stretch here through the back of the legs. And then when you feel a real good stretch here, you can actually just go ahead and release the arms down to the mat. Now it's your choice if you want to start to walk your hands back behind you to feel a greater stretch through the back of the legs. You're welcome to do that with time. That will become easier for you. But remember, yoga isn't about comparisons. So maybe your arms are out here right now. And that's okay. Let's go ahead and bend the knees. Use your elbows to press your legs out and have a seat here in Matsyana. Release your hands to the mat. This time, extend the legs, take your hands to your hip points, and go ahead and come up nice and tall. Reach your arms up into star pose. I love this position. It's something I do every morning just to feel like I already conquered the day just by getting up out of my bed. This is my pose. Wah! So I challenge you right now just to own this pose. Wah! Be a star. And it's okay to smile. It's okay to smile and not be so serious. Sway your hips back and forth. Do a little AO. AO. If you're doing this yoga in the morning, you're gonna be like, Carly, oh my gosh, that's a life changer. All right, let's go ahead and take the weird thumb on top this time. I always have a hard time remembering what one's a weird one. All right, this time, raise your arms up off your back and then go ahead and fold down. Feel that good stretch, and you can actually keep it going. Keep your arms linked behind your back this time if that feels good. If you want to release, you can go ahead and do so. All right, exhale, release. One more time in Matsyana. Have a seat. Make yourself tall and proud here. Take your hands to the mat. Press those hips up towards the sky. Hands to your hips. And come on up, right back into that star. You've got it. Give me a little sass. Give me a smile. Feel good in this pose. You can sway. You can just take up as much space as you want right now. This is good. This feels good. Just to play, just to be a kid, to be a tree, to be a butterfly. I was actually just out here doing kickboxing, and I saw a butterfly pass by me in December. And that made me feel like nature is the best healer of all times. It's so neat. It takes me away from all tasks, from all to-do lists, projects. Go ahead and have a seat on your bottom. And we're just gonna go ahead and lower down one vertebrae at a time, following that big old star. You should feel really refreshed. You should feel really energized. And we're gonna finish with one more pose, pressing your hips up towards the sky here in bridge. If you want to do this assisted, you can put blocks right under your hips, or you can use your hands. It's up to you. Press through your heels. Find your breath. Let's go ahead and roll down one vertebrae at a time. And let's just do something a little bit more playful. One more playful move. We're just gonna go into happy baby. So kick one leg out and then the other. You can do single leg or double. And you can rock side to side here. One reason why I like happy baby is because the name's fun. And I feel like a child when I'm in this pose. And I think that's a good thing. There's a lot of things we could take away from kids. They let go of things, they don't stress too much, they know how to be present and have fun and be goofy and be themselves, and they don't worry, they don't stress. So let's think about that. Hug yourself into a ball here and release into our final pose of Shavasana. And if you can hold on to any of the concepts that I talked about today, I hope you think about allowing yourself to be a child, to be playful, to be fun, to forget about what you have to do tomorrow or the next day, and just be here. Just be here now. And know that with every fear, with every weakness, the more you expose yourself to it, the better you get. So if you're not athletic and you practice athletic moves, you become more athletic. And if you're not good at relaxing, the more you relax the more you get out of it. And trust me, in our world we need a lot more of me time, we need a lot more alone time. We need a lot more distraction-free time to just sit in our thoughts, to innovate, to forgive, to let go, to unwind. So take this time now to unwind. Go ahead and start to wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. If you have more time to give to this meditation, this relaxation, I highly suggest you do so. However, if you have given all that you've carved out today, I completely understand. Thank you so much for taking this time that you have to care for yourself. Go ahead and draw your knees into your chest, and let's go ahead and rock and roll up and down the spine. Give me one more roll just for fun. Thank you so much for checking in today, clicking play, taking a moment to take care of yourself and admit that you're a busybody and just deciding to change that in any single way that you can. To learn to be present now in this moment. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this workout, be sure to click the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel so you are notified anytime that I upload new videos. Have a great day. Namaste.